Thank you for listening. A list of content warnings can be found in the episode description. Take care. Enjoy the show. Planescape Torment, the Unofficial audio series. A narrative let's play adapted and produced by RevocerGM, combining in-game audio with additional voice acting through dialogue and descriptions to improve your listening experience. Rediscover the amazing story of the 1999 cult classic isometric video game, Planescape Torment, like you've never heard before. How good could it be, you think, regarding the burgundy liquid carefully? Across the table from you, the twisted old man smiles slyly.
"Please, sir, try,"
he whispers, his hushed voice the sound of dry leaves blown over a roughly cobbled street.
"Thou shalt find it more than lives up to thy expectations, I am sure."
You nod at him and lift the crystal goblet into the air, watching the light play through the crimson liquor. You'd come a long way for this drink, searched long and hard for this old man, and you'll be damned to let anything rush you now. The moment was to be savored. You raise the glass to your lips, inhaling the stuff's aroma. The bouquet is light, sweet, intoxicating, almost dizzyingly so. You tried countless drinks, written tomes about them, their flavors and smells, means of manufacture in your journeys across the plains. But this stuff was supposed to be legendary. No living man you'd found or heard of had tried the stuff. The stories were ridiculous. Nothing could taste quite so good. But if there were the slightest bit of truth to them, this would be some fine liquor indeed. At last, you drink at the goblet, a cautious sip. Incredible. Indescribable. As the flavor washes over your palate, you fight the urge to shudder with delight. Nothing you have tried in all your long years has tasted quite like this. You look up at the old man, startled to find your glass empty. You had drained it all in a single draught. You wipe your eyes with the back of your hand, not entirely sure when you had begun to cry. Tears of joy, eh? The old man laughed softly.
"Quite pleasing to the tongue, is it not? Wouldst thou like some more, perchance?"
He smiles at you once more. Yes, if I might."
"Surely,"
he replies, refilling your glass. Try as you might, you cannot resist downing it in a single gulp. You thrust your finger into the goblet in an attempt to find some last hidden drop of the stuff. Several times more does he fill the goblet, and each time you gulp the stuff down, as a starving man would devour a feast, unable to control yourself, to deny yourself another exquisite taste of it. He chuckles softly once more.
"A drink such as this? A man would do anything for it, no?"
You nod, without hesitation. Yes, a man would. Looking at him, his sly smile suddenly takes on a whole new meaning. A sense of horror begins to creep over you, even as you begin to yearn painfully for more of the blood-red liquor. Yes, the old man grins, his yellow eyes gleaming.
"A man wouldst do anything in the thrall of such a drink, even the most terrible, the most heinous of deeds, as thou shalt see, my newest servant."
What was it like?
That was incredible. Yes, that is one of our more extravagant ones. Would you like to try another? Not just yet. I'm actually looking for someone. Lady Thorncombe, the head mage's tutor. She will doubtless be found here. Let me check which sensory stone she last visited. One moment. Oh, yes. Yeah, you will find her at Indescribable Frustration, 3 chambers counterclockwise from the stairwell. It is a reddish-orange color. Thank you. Having asked Splinter, the doorman, if there was anywhere you could find information on the night hag, Ravel Puzzlewell, he suggested seeking the head mage tutor, Lady Thorncombe, who apparently spends much of her time here in the sensoriums, and you can begin to understand why. The thrill of stepping into a wholly unique experience aside, this place is a pleasure to behold. Verdant trellises enclose a peaceful foyer filled with the calming scents of mint and lavender, along with the gentle trickle of water fountains, all there to serve as a palate cleanser from the lusciously decorated chambers that are each themselves themed to provoke a particular sensory experience. And for a small fee, this whole place is yours to enjoy. Polite guides mill about, offering refreshments and recommendations to suit whichever sense you wish to indulge or explore, and there is no shortage of variety. From the brief rush of escaping a swift demise to the drawn-out pain of slow suffocation, you can experience here things that most mortals could not conceive of, and in your case, can accurately compare to your own slew of recalled sensation. Heading to the chamber your guide had indicated, you find a room filled with large terracotta urns, radiating a substantial amount of heat. The floor is covered with white sand, and there is the warm, slightly sulphurous smell of baked stone. In the center is a table with several fist-sized jewels held in ornate brass setting. Accompanying you within the space is a comely, middle-aged woman, absent-mindedly chewing on her thumbnail, while dreamily gazing at the stones before her. Her eyes seem focused on nothing in particular, and she is dressed in elegant yet disheveled finery, and her hair is slightly tousled. Greetings. She takes a thumb from her mouth, smoothing back a strand of hair that had fallen in front of her eyes. Are you, by chance, Lady Thorncombe? Her eyes widen momentarily, and she looks away from you.
Oh, no, I'm not, sir.
Who are you, then, if I may ask? She smiles nervously.
No one of consequence, I assure you.
Might I have your name?
Oh, I'm, Adana.
Right. You're a terrible liar, you know. She sneers.
And you're a horribly scarred ruin of a man. More a corpse given some sad semblance of life than anything else. Now go away.
All right, that's enough of this. I think we both know who you are, Lady Thorncombe.
And if I was this woman, what of it?
Well, I had heard you were the head mage tutor here in the Festhall. I'd hoped I might speak with you.
Well, I shall dash your hopes to pieces then. I no longer wish to teach magic. Now go, leave me in peace.
But why not?
As if it were any concern of yours.
She picks up the folds of her dress and scurries from this chamber to the next. But wait. I seek to learn, and you can teach. I would know what I might do to convince you.
I doubt there's much you can offer me which I cannot find on my own. The sensory stones provide me with all things that wealth cannot.
The sensory stones?
Yes. Take this one, for example. Each stone has recorded within it one experience or another. This,
she looks deep into your eyes,
is tender love.
She then takes your hands gently in hers and rests them over the turquoise gemstone on the table. And suddenly, the experience washes over you. Your eyes are closed. You can sense yourself standing on the tips of your toes, pressed against someone tightly. Soft lips brush against yours, giving you the most gentle of kisses. Your heart seems to flutter in your chest, and you feel as if you could fall backwards and simply float off into space.
It's beautiful, is it not?
It is, but...
Or try this one. Sheer wonder.
She drags you into another chamber and presses your palm to the stone, plunging you into the experience. Light scatters as the surface drifts away. Hesitantly, you open your mouth to take a shallow breath, and the water flows into your lungs like cool air. You smile and take a deep breath now, gawking in all directions as you slowly sink to the bottom of the harbor, where hundreds of colorful fish weave through the twisting tracts of brilliant coral. As your feet touch the bottom, you peer up at the keel of your ship and laugh aloud with joy, a stream of great bubbles shooting up towards the surface.
Or this!
Dancing and leaping in a rhythm with the wood elves' bouncing festival music, you and a dozen other dancers spin through the forest clearing like a whirling dervish, smiling and laughing like mad. As the cheering forest dwellers whoop, clap and dance alongside you, fairies careen through the air above your heads, leaving sparkling trails of colored light.
When I first came to these halls, I spent little time with them. Only now do I realize what I had been missing.
What had you been missing? She shakes her head, smiling. Her eyes take on a glassy sheen, and she holds herself tightly.
One could spend lifetimes here among the stones. Experience after wondrous experience. Mere words cannot express their magnificence. I can only suggest you stay here for a time and see for yourself, sir.
You sound addicted.
Nonsense! I could stop any time I wished. I merely choose to bask in their wonder. Why waste time teaching dawdling, ungrateful magelings when I could remain here among these precious stones, living 100 new lives each day?
She grasps another stone before her. You see her eyes roll back, and a look of agony racks her face. The stone beneath reads, "Unavoidable pain." She lets go with a cry and stumbles back, resting on one of the couches in the chamber. Are you all right?
Yes. No, not all are pleasant. But isn't that also wonderful? We must experience all that life has to offer, no?
I don't think the stones are there for that. Shouldn't you seek sensations of your own to share?
What you think matters little to me. I ask you now to leave me. Truly.
All right.
Farewell.
Having made no progress with the Lady Thorncombe, you head to the Mage's quarter within the training wing itself, in the hopes of finding someone who might give you more information on Ravel. In contrast to the rest of the Festhall, this large gymnasium is quite sparse in its decoration. Split into sections marked by draped banners, you see tools and training equipment for all manner of exercise and competition. Several sparring squares are marked out on the ground, and rows of exercise dummies and practice targets line the walls. Observing the budding magicians is a tall, thin man, dressed in heavy crimson robes. He bows regally as you approach him. I am Salabesh, oft called Salabesh the Onyx, future head mage tutor for the Civic Festhall. You've business with me, I take it? Oft called the Onyx? Why's that? A long tale, which I'll shorten to save my breath. In my youth, I was once called Salabesh the Golden, for I was said to have a heart of gold, small, hard, and yellow. Well, I cursed the fool who started that so that he could only speak from his arse and defecate through his mouth. The Onyx appellation, along the same lines as the Golden, though admittedly somewhat less clever, soon followed. In any case, I'm a much kinder fellow now, far less prone to laying curses and the like. I'm not certain if I deserve the same name any longer. I see. Are you the mage that cursed the performer down in the plaza? Oh, that one. Yes, cursed the thing, and it was well deserving of it. Mocking a passing mage, but now what sort of fool does that? It was asking for it. After all, I am master of curses. Don't worry yourself, though. The curse is harmless. Improves the sorry little act, if anything. It'll be fine. Master of curses. Do you know of a cursed man called Reequind? Reek? Salabesh's eyebrows suddenly dart up. Oh, yes, Reequind. Jumble Murdersense cursed that man, if I recall correctly. Why? You're seeking to get his curse undone? Good luck. Only Jumble can do that, you know. Where'd I find this Jumble murder sense? Oh, around here for sure. Always likes pestering the fledgling mages. A short, portly fellow with a leering smile. Never speaks, so you'll be hard-pressed to get anything out of him. I had another question. I'm looking for any information on a night hag, Ravel Puzzlewell. Do you know anything about her? Puzzlewell? Yes. Well, nothing more than the tales mostly told to scare sensates into proper training. There was a mage here who had been quite keen in his research on her, but was quite balmy and unpredictable. Thanks. What did you mean by future head mage tutor of the Festhall? It's a prestigious position to be one of those in charge of tutelage in the Festhall's training wing. It's my intention to take that position from its current owner, the Lady Thorncombe. Rumor is she has become quite addled from overuse of the sensorium stones. He rubs his hands together eagerly. I'll request to be made the new head mage's tutor shortly, when it is appropriate. Strutting about with an odd, crooked smile, you find this Jumble murder sense. His orange tunic and rather sizable gut give him the look of a walking pumpkin. He is absent-mindedly patting his large paunch with a slow rhythm, as if it were a drum, and there is a strange gleam in his eyes that makes him look a little uncanny. This is the man who had cursed your storyteller friend in the hive. Greetings. The man gives an exaggerated, flourishing bow and presents a small card, which reads only Jumble Murder Sense, Chaositect Sorcerer Extraordinaire. He then snatches the card from your grasp and proceeds to eat it, grinning wildly all the while.
Somewhere in a asylum is one barmy short.
I had some questions, Jumble. Jumble yawns and looks away, drumming on his belly with the palms of his hands. Jumble, my questions? He rolls his eyes, then turns to you and offers his hand to shake. But just as you reach for it, he smirks, then bites his thumb. Fine. But I'm here to ask you to remove Requin's curse. Do you understand? He pretends not to hear you, instead belching loudly and resuming his belly drumming, his eyes wandering around the hall. Is there anything I could do so that you'd do this? Jumble won't look at you, but shakes his head. You stoop down to his height and place your hands upon his shoulders. He hisses like a cat and flicks your hands away before slapping you square on the cheek. Immediately, he disappears in a puff of misty fume, and after a moment, you feel a light tapping on your shoulder. Still crouching, you turn around only to find Jumble standing there, who then proceeds to blow a raspberry in your face. You reach forward and grasp him by his collar, pulling him close.
All right, listen, you little imp. Remove Requin's curse before I'm forced to hurt you.
Jumble raises one eyebrow, leans back, and then opens his mouth. And although his lips or throat don't move to shape any words or sound, an abrupt torrent of incomprehensible babbling begins to pour forth. What the? Jumble shuts his mouth, and the babbling ceases. He peers at you through narrowed eyes, a self-satisfied smile on his pudgy face. But suddenly, you hiccup. And hiccup. And hiccup. And hiccup again. Jumble Murdersense merely turns his head and waves you away.
Uh-oh. Looks like you just got a curse thrown down on you, Chief.
What have you done to me, Jumble? Jumble ignores you entirely, proceeding to strut about the hall. Oh, gods, what has he done? Again, you find Salabesh the Onyx. He makes a brief but graceful half-bow. Again, you stand before me. Please, help me. Help you? Doubtful. Well, perhaps I could. What troubles you then? Jumble Murdersense cursed me. Jumble Murdersense. Oh, that sputtering mooncalf could never best me. Oh, the battles we used to have, though. Salabesh frowns. But I'm all past that now. No longer my sort of thing, you see. I really don't know what I could do for you. After all, it's his curse, not the sort of thing you'd find on an item or some such, you know. That you could remove with simple magics. You'll have to remove it willingly.
Well, could you teach me a curse then? That I could use on him?
Well, no, I don't normally do that. I keep my curses to myself, you know. No. I've simply no desire to do it.
Perhaps you're just worried that your curses aren't good enough to best him anymore.
You what? Of all the ridiculous... Now, look here, you knuckle-dragging sack of scars. Salabesh the Onyx is the master of curses, and there is no other. Why, I could give you but a single phrase that would render that nincompoop's cursing wholly impotent. That's it! You've made me do it!
He then utters a short string of impossible syllables, words of power which you note mentally for later use against Jumble.
There. See what that does to him, and tell me Salabesh the Onyx isn't the master of curses then.
Thanks, Salabesh. I'll do that. Farewell.
Back with Jumble, you give him no time to run and throw the curse Salabesh taught you at him. Jumble stares at you with a somewhat skeptical expression as you speak the arcane syllables of Salabesh's curse. After a moment of awkward silence, the Chaositect Mage notes that nothing seems to have happened, and an evil grin spreads across his face. He opens his mouth to retaliate with another curse of his own, only to realize he has no voice. Salabesh's curse has removed Jumble's ability to speak, thereby destroying the Chaositect's ability to curse others. He clutches at his throat, panic welling up in his eyes.
Looks like the tables have turned, Jumble. What do you think will happen when anyone you've ever cursed finds out you can't speak or curse anymore?
Jumble drops to his knees, a pleading expression on his face. He looks ready to burst into tears.
Will you remove the curse you placed on me? And swear never to curse another who didn't mean you harm.
Jumble places his hands over his heart and nods vigorously.
And take the curse off Reekwind as well?
Jumble nods, pouting.
Very well. I'll remove it then.
Jumble sighs with relief as you remove Salabesh's curse from him. He in turn removes his own, and your hiccups finally stop. He then bows humbly and casts his eyes to the floor before snapping his fingers and disappearing once again. You return to the sensorium, hoping once again to speak with Lady Thorncombe, and find her back in the warm sandy chamber slumped against the stone plinth, ashen lines of tears and makeup streaking down her face. She squints at you as you approach, as if trying to remember who you were, and suddenly she frowns pointedly.
You... I hope you have not come here in an ill-fated attempt to drag me back to the training chamber. Because I most certainly shall not go.
Are you all right? She does not answer, but quietly sobs, smearing the hem of her dress across her running nose.
My lady...
Oh, leave it. I know what you'd say. You cannot stay like this. You're driving yourself to ruin. I am a disgrace to the board of mages. Well, go on, say it.
Why did you become a tutor?
Well, to share it, I suppose.
What do you mean?
I had wonderful training. My upbringing, my family. I had the finest professors of the art give me lessons, firsthand.
Go on.
You see, so many in Sigil and the Plains are forced into their power through hardship and hurt, triggered into it by trauma no less. I wanted to show that it needn't be so. That one could find power and purpose through practice. But I had lived such a sheltered life. I could not relate to those I would hope to teach. These stones, they show me the planes in ways I could not dream. They show me a life I never had to endure.
Do you think now that one must endure to find strength? To find that power?
No. No, I don't. But I can't bear to not understand those who have. I must experience it in some part, so I can help them. Does that make sense?
It does. I understand, Lady Thorncombe, I do. But you cannot help them from here. And if you stay here, there are others who would take your place, who might not be so supportive.
What? Who?
Well, Salabesh, for one.
Salabesh? That lofty old ghoul. The man couldn't magic his way out of a mildewed sack.
Right. Well, he would certainly be pleased if you were to remain here, so he might take over the tutelage of the less experienced mages.
What? But
Yes, Lady Thorncombe?
Asinine! No, wholly asinine! That cannot be so! I won't allow it!
I think the students would be thrilled if you didn't.
Yes. Yes, the students. Oh, I've made such a fool of myself.
No, my lady.
You came here seeking me, no? Before. What was it you sought?
Yes, I did. I'm looking for Ravel Puzzlewell. Lady Thorncombe's face darkens.
That is not a name I've heard in quite some time.
You know much of her?
Not much, but enough to know that I do not relish in that I have. Whatever people tell you, she is real, and quite wicked. You must speak with Quell, if he still resides here. He is a wizard, and quite well versed in the horrors of that hag.
Quell. Thank you.
No, thank you, Scarred Man. You have been quite helpful.
You aid her in rising to her feet, and with a slightly embarrassed look on her face, she smiles, curtsies, then turns back to the sensory stones once more. She then nods and walks away. Looking down at the jewel before you, the inscription beneath says, "Horrible regret." You stand on the deck of your flagship, the Divine Hammer, as it floats over the continent of Agerheim, held aloft by the winds of magic. The very landscape roils and shudders beneath the bombardment of your fleet. 1,000 ships' cannons and bombards hurling their sorcerous fire down like vengeful gods. The shockwaves began to hit your ship only minutes ago, a constant vibration that sends shudders through the whole of the ancient craft and moves your very bones, accompanied by a constant, rumbling bass. As the land's mountains begin to sink and the seas that surround it begin to boil off into the atmosphere, your first officer comes to stand beside you.
My Lord Admiral, permission to speak freely, sir.
You nod your acquiescence, your stomach sinking as you guess at his question.
My Lord, forgive me, but how? What gives us the right? 1 billion lives.
You speak without turning to him, unable to take your eyes off Rumos, the nation's vast capital city, as it vaporizes into a cloud of superheated gases 12 miles across and growing ever wider. If you only knew the full treachery of the Aegerites, First Officer Feln, one which is beyond most any man's comprehension, then you would know. You would speak of our right to annihilate them. We've no right to let them live. But, sir, traitors. All of them. Surely among the hundreds of thousands, how many innocent— Silence! Speak of it no more. Our king has spoken. His will be done. The task set to us is a horrible one, not fit for contemplation or questioning. There is no room for pity, no room for remorse, only duty. The two of you stand silently for a time, watching the last minutes of Agerheim. At long last, you sigh, a low, stuttering exhalation that sounds as if something has broken inside you. Beneath the brazen plate that covers the ruined half of your face, your dead eye begins to weep. Val, my friend, I would have you understand. I know now, as I look down at what I have wrought here, that were I to think upon what I have done, what I have truly done, I would be struck mad. A deed such as this, the anguish would overwhelm, destroy me. So, First Officer Falm, it must be that there are no innocents in Agerheim. No mothers, no children, no people. Only traitors. Vile, cunning traitors, who deserve no less than the full brunt of our most holy king's wrath. Do you understand this?
Yes. Yes, my lord.
Good. Now go. I wish to be alone here.
By your command, Lord Admiral.
Falm bows his head and returns below deck, leaving you to stand over the end of a civilization. Thank you for listening to Planescape Torment, the unofficial audio series, a RevocerGM production. To support the show and those involved, please consider subscribing to our Patreon or donating via our Ko-fi page. Links to both are in the description.